Merry Christmas everyone, and yesterday we start to see the massive breakout of this major consolidation phase we have been trading in for such a long time here. And on today's update video, I'm going to be talking about this major continuation pattern which we are currently creating. I'm going to be discussing exactly what has happened so far in the market, exactly what we're forecasting right now, and more importantly, I'm going to be talking exactly about the previous data points, what has always happened during Christmas in bull market years. So a lot of important and critical data will be discussed on today's update video. So we'll be discussing this and much more important stuff, including the spot Bitcoin ETF data, which has seen the biggest outflow from BlackRock we have ever recorded so far, many other important alpha points, and of course I will be doing a deep dive in towards altcoins and what the prediction and forecast is right now in the market. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So first of all, yesterday we were looking at this major ascending triangle. So we were seeing, of course, a major consolidation phase getting created, and I discussed it. Whenever we're going to be breaking above the resistance line, we're of course going to be seeing that push higher, and whenever we break the horizontal support line, we are of course going to be looking at significant downside for Bitcoin. And of course, we did know that we were looking at this major level of support on the lower side, which I also discussed in yesterday's video, and basically we bounced from off that level. And of course I did discuss on like 2 or 3 days ago as well that we were creating of course a CME gap, and that 99% of the times whenever we create a CME gap, a significant ones above us, we're going to be closing it within like 72 maybe 48 hours, and this time around it happened in 48 hours. So we did at a CME gap, but just 48 hours later, we have filled it up here. So that is, of course, a very great thing to see. And this is what happens 99% of the times. But ever since Bitcoin indeed solved this major breakout of this descending triangle, which is, of course, a typical bearish bias pattern, but we did broke towards the upside. But now we can start to see that we're creating somewhat of a new consolidation phase. And if you're zooming in here, you can start to see that we're creating, of course, a new symmetrical triangle. And really, this is about to be breaking out any moment right now here. So maybe later today we're going to see another big move getting created on Bitcoin, but do be on high alert. It is currently Christmas, and during Christmas there's of course no institutional trading, and that could be potentially affecting the volume and of course the moves which we're right now creating in the market. So yeah, we could see some different moves that we are normally not really used to seeing. And then of course, if you're looking at the 12-hour time frame, I'm looking of course at the parallel channel. This major parallel channel we've created, we've been bouncing between the highs and lows every single time, and ever since we broke below the low, guys, we have seen this level flip into resistance, and now we're actually still trading below it. So Bitcoin indeed has been rebounding ever so slightly, but we're still trading below the major parallel channel. And of course, in the end of the day, we're just looking at this consolidation phase right here, where we're meeting big support on the lower side, which is trading around $92,000. And if we break below that level, is of course the confirmation that we are going to be breaking lower. But of course, as long as that's not happening, I don't really see a big reason to be panicking. And of course, since it's right now Christmas, and Christmas usually is a very volatile period for Bitcoin, I want to be comparing 2020 and 2016, these exact bull market years, towards each other. And honestly, if I compare these exact bull market years to each other, we're seeing quite a lot of similarities between those. So in 2016 and 2020 as well, we saw a major rally coming in towards Christmas. And then just as Christmas happened, we saw a slight little slowdown. And in 2016, we even saw a major dump, just exactly like we're currently seeing as well. But just also like 2016, we saw a big continuation after Christmas was over. So honestly, I don't really believe this is necessarily a bad thing which we're seeing, because we're seeing an ever so slight correction in the bigger trend on Bitcoin. Of course, if you're looking at the weekly time frame or daily time frame, you can see that we're seeing an ever so slight correction, which is not so big as most people are saying. So yeah, previously around as well, we are currently in a bull market. It is very stupid to be, of course, thinking it is already over, because if we look at the data, it is probably not over for at least the coming 2 to 3 months here. And yeah, just like I said in 2020 as well, we just had that exact minor sell-off before Christmas, which we're currently also seeing. So very interesting to be seeing here. But also, if I'm just going to purely look at the point where I think the market is going to be topping out here, it is likely not going to be topping out this time around yet here. And of course, whenever I see the data points where I think, okay, now the market is going to be topping out here, you will be the first one to know on the channel, because of course I will be completely transparent. Then of course, something that is very interesting to see here is that BlackRock has done its biggest sell ever so far on the spot Bitcoin ETF, which was $188 million worth of outflows. Then in total we saw about a $338 million outflow on the spot Bitcoin ETF, which wasn't necessarily so big here after especially this massive run of major inflows, like you can see here on the cumulative flow chart here. Guys, we're just seeing a slight little correction, and as the market is going to be recovering again, probably we're just going to be also once again see that interest return on the spot Bitcoin ETF from these institutional investors. Really, if I'm looking at Bitcoin, if we're going to compare it also towards previous year, 2023 December, we had a very boring consolidation phase here, and then only after 2024 we saw that major rally. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see something similar this time around again here. And yeah, if we're just going to be looking at the total crypto market cap here, and now of course it is Christmas, and usually after Christmas is where the most exponential gains come in the upcoming 413 days here. And of course, most of the gains are made with altcoins, and Bitcoin currently still sitting at a very important level of support. We've seen major capitulation from long-term holders, which is of course a great thing to see here. Now the people that are actually willing to sell their Bitcoin are out of the market, and ultimately that is what we need to, of course, push higher eventually. So if you want to be trading Bitcoin or any other altcoins, just like I am currently doing, because I am opening up $1 million trades right now here. And yes, guys, you can currently do so as well here with this link description of today's video. Because if you go to the highest link description of today's video, sign up an account to Blofin, you can currently get a deposit bonus worth up to $100,000. This is a very, very special deposit bonus, which will be expiring on the 2nd of January. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, I mean, if you're really looking at the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, are we really looking so bad here? I don't really believe we're looking so bad here. Honestly, in the weekly time frame, we're just looking ultimately still extremely bullish. And if you put off the logarithmic time frame, you can even argue, okay, we've already gone so far from of the point where we, of course, saw the breakout. I mean, if you're looking from the bear market low here, Bitcoin has already risen over 560%, which is, of course, quite insane if you would ask me here. So Bitcoin, its performance has been extraordinary. And yes, if you're just going to be looking at the fact of altcoins have not really done so much here. But in terms of timing and in terms of charting, it does really look like altcoins are going to be blowing up anytime soon here. And that is why I have personally myself have been preparing myself very aggressively into altcoins. So very excited for that here. Looking forward towards the gains to be making with that. And yes, if we're going to be looking back here during Christmas, it's usually the starting point where altcoins tend to be performing very strong here in bull market year. So the Bitcoin dominance is also right now starting to be breaking below the very important support line. We're seeing a reversal. We're seeing that also during the previous time in 2020, during Christmas. We saw that major dump on the Bitcoin dominance also getting started. So timing wise, it would make a lot of sense. We're creating a major rising wedge pattern, which is also breaking down here. And yeah, according to all the data points, it makes a lot of sense that we are right now going to get that altcoin season. So I have been personally myself prepared very, very well into altcoins. And if you want to be doing the same, make sure to check out Blofin in the link description of today's video. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful Christmas. Ho, 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 hodl. That is the Christmas shirt I am currently wearing. But anyways, have a wonderful Christmas and see you guys back tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.